Welcome back to Dragon Week here on Green and Gold Gaming. Monster Week is an annual community event created and organized by Pointy Hat and Jenny D to bring together TTRPG creators on YouTube, and this year's theme is dragons. Have you been using nearly the same dragon stat block since 2003? Are you considering spicing up the dragons in your life? Would you like to give your players a terrifying and memorable gift? Why not add a little dash of homebrew to your draconic menace? Creating a fun homebrew doesn't have to start from the ground up. You too can change one or two things about your favorite terror of the skies, and that old dish is fresh and new again. I'm Renegade Paladin, the primary narrator and editor here at Green and Gold Gaming. We're taking a break from the Draconomicon this morning to talk about our house rules for dragons. There are many dragons to consider, but we'll touch on a few of the classics that heroes are likely to fight. We'll modify some of the abilities that the dragon has instead of adding new abilities, as many combats will not last long enough for dragons to utilize their favored tactics, special abilities, spells, and any further powers you might give them, save those tied to swift or immediate actions. For the sake of simplicity, we'll touch on each dragon's breath weapon, and in no particular order. To play into the White Dragon's cold theme, one might think to create a secondary save for those unfortunate enough to fail their initial reflex saving throw, either entangling or slowing the dragon's victims with its sheer cold, which is something we saw in 4th edition D&D, a threatening and interesting prospect. However, consider instead the White Dragon's Snow Vision, a property possessed by all but the Wormling Whites. Simply treating a White Dragon's breath weapon as a supernatural effect identical to a Sleet Storm spell, with a duration equal to a breath weapon's cooldown, creates a dynamic battlefield obstacle that scales with the dragon's power, blocking vision and hampering movement, granting the Savage Hunter an advantage it is sure to use well. If you're concerned about the power level of this ability, consider adding limited uses. However, keep in mind anything more than 2 times per day or so is probably the same as having an unlimited number, given how combat plays out in Pathfinder 1st Edition. A similar idea presents itself with the Mighty Red Dragon. A burst of fire is hardly intimidating to well-prepared adventurers. But what if the initial gout of molten flame an old enough red dragon spewed forth in a day were so hot it converted the very earth into volcanic glass? Consider the secondary effect of the Obsidian Flow spell. The breath weapon needn't do more fire damage, it can simply ignite its targets for effect and require a second saving throw for those already on the ground to not become stuck in the molten glass as it hardens, or navigate the razor-sharp obstacle to get at the dragon whose flight handily ignores such hazards. We look elsewhere to bolster the cunning blue dragon of the sands, as not everything needs to replicate a spell effect. Lightning brings to mind one thing in particular: thunder. And within the game, powerful thunder is often associated with deafness. By requiring a fortitude saving throw to negate temporary deafness for those near its breath weapon, with 5 feet per age category whether they are struck by the line of lightning or not, this wily desert dweller can set up even more effective ambushes and leave opposing spellcasters at a serious disadvantage in a protracted engagement. Like the White Dragon, consider having the effect last a short time, tied to its breath weapon cooldown, or even until the dragon's next turn. While black dragons and green dragons both possess acidic breath, a line and a cone respectively, these can be made to feel thematically different. The black dragon lurks in swamps and bogs, its breath is a powerful line of liquid acid or bile. Add more force to that line. Those who fail their reflex saves are driven back by the sheer force of its spray, granting the dragon a single combat maneuver attempt to push its foes away as a bull rush. Alternatively, or in addition to, the environmental rules for acid state being near a large body of such is treated as a poison. Consider those who take damage from the breath weapon to be stricken with the additional effect of an inhaled toxin, threatening a single point of constitution damage per failed save. Black dragons might force opponents into its layer's hazards or disadvantageous terrain with such a power. The cone of a green dragon's breath is sometimes described as a corrosive gas, not unlike chlorine. Exposure to such a gas can result in coughing, uncontrolled production of tears, choking, and other severe effects. We need look no further than the rules for smoke inhalation in the core rulebook to replicate this. The green dragon's breath can require a secondary fortitude save at the same DC to prevent a powerful coughing fit. Armed thus, these masters of the forest can disable their opponents before closing for the kill, or use the momentary incapacitation of their foes to create a tactical advantage. Those who fail would spend their next turn coughing and treat all other creatures as though they had concealment as their eyes tear up. This is potentially a powerful ability and should only last a single round, not linger within the area of the breath weapon like the White Dragon's Breath. Those are our DM's take on adding variety and further tactical depths to encounters with classic chromatic dragons. Feel free to use them, give suggestions, and tell us what changes you've made to your dragons. Thus concludes our feature on our Dragon House rules for Dragon Week. Be sure to check out the Dragon Week features from other creators as well. A link to today's playlist will be in the description. If you enjoy our content, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you later today for more discussion of dragons.